Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is having a fabulous Friday morning today. We have a lot to cover, especially information about Johnny. Let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. We are going to start off with Prince William this morning. You know, he was gifted Anmer Hall by Queen Elizabeth. It is a Georgian mansion in the Norfolk countryside, and it was gifted to him when he married the Princess of Wales, Catherine Middleton, in 2011. Now, apparently, he just learned that it was haunted. The rumor is, or this is what he was told, there's a ghost of a Catholic priest who was hanged, drawn, and quartered there for high treason, and for some reason he has returned to his home. And he was executed in York, but supposedly they've already heard his voice and they've seen his ghost and everything. So Catherine and William were warned about this ghost before they moved in, and Prince William apparently said, and I'm quoting, "No old hall would be complete without a ghost, would it?" How's that? Pretty cool, but that's the legend, so supposedly his home is haunted. Moving on. Moving on to Princess Catherine. She apparently attended Marlborough College before she went to St. Andrews University, and it's a boarding school, and apparently she was there the other day. She played field hockey, it was rumored, while she was there. She was captain of the team. Her sister apparently also went there, as did brother James Middleton, and Princess Eugenie was also there. The reason she was there was unclear. She wasn't doing any engagements. And maybe she was school shopping. Moving on. Moving on to King Charles and Queen Camilla. We know that they're going to be visiting Kenya soon. We know that they just had that reception. Well, while they were there at Buckingham Palace having that reception and chatting with everybody, a very interesting thing was brought that they were able to look at. There was a display table that had different items from the Royal Collection Trust relating to the British family's connection to Kenya. And on that table, there were pictures of his mother and Prince Philip before her accession, a copy of the speech that Prince Philip made when Kenya became independent, and there was one other thing. There was a photo of something called the Treetops, which is a Kenyan hideaway where his mother was when she became Queen. Interesting. All right, moving on. We're going to move on to Princess Anne now. She went to visit the Glasgow Victims of Crime Support Unit. She met some staff and volunteers at the office. It's called the National Office of Victim Support Scotland. Now, they are called the VSS, Victim Support Scotland, and they are the leading charity, and they are dedicated to helping people affected by crime across Scotland. The chief executive of this facility, Kate Wallace, said that it was an honor to have Princess Anne there, whose last visit was 4 years ago when the charity worked out of their old office. How nice. And of course, Princess Anne unveiled a plaque. And we know that she is a patron of the support body. So, of course, she met with volunteers and staff to find out what they do more, day to day. Pretty cool. Now, sticking with Princess Anne, her next stop was Equi, I hope I'm saying that right. It's EQUI, ice cream in Lanarkshire. And she was listening about their fundraising efforts. The family has been making ice cream since 1922, and they've been raising money for the last 5 years for Maggie's Center. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is a place that gives free cancer support to those in need, and Queen Camilla is the patron of that group. I love this picture. Princess Anne at the ice cream truck getting her fix of sugar. I love it. All right, moving on. All right, you guys, this is what I consider to be one of the big stories of the day. We all know about Johnny, Hunky Johnny. And he can only be in the position that he's in for a certain amount of time. So in 18 months, his position is going to end and he will no longer be an equerry to the king. However, the king has decided to keep him on and is now going to be organizing King Charles's private affairs. He was being promoted from equerry to super equity. Very nice. He is 40 years old. He lives in Surrey with his wife and his son. His new promotion apparently is going to have people seeing more of him. And they're saying that, quote, Charles pulled a decent trick by picking a social media sensation to be his right-hand man. Man, I could not agree more. Now, for those of you who may not know, Mr. Thompson is in the 5th Battalion Royal Regiment of Scotland, and the equerry is somebody who assists members of the royal family. So his role as equerry involves helping the king with his daily duties, standing beside him at public events, eavesdropping on Harry and Meghan at the church, looking after the carriages, the coaches, and the vehicles used at state ceremonies. We know that he was Queen Elizabeth's, one of her senior bodyguards, and now he's working for King Charles. I think that's lovely. Now, for those of you who don't know, he made 3rd place on Tatler's Social Power Index. This is supposedly detailing where the real power lies in Britain. He's known as Major Eye Candy, and he was on this list right behind King Charles and Queen Camilla and billionaire businessman Sanjay. Yeah, he is one of the most influential people to know, and they say he has a good sense of humor. Moving on. Next up, a UC Berkeley instructor apparently offered her class extra credit if they would attend an anti-Israeli event. Her supervisors have been notified, no word yet on whether she's still employed. And for those of you who say you don't like my name and shame segment because these people have a right to their opinion, you're right, they do. And so do I. Moving on. All right, here we go. Meghan Markle now has to meet her half-sister Samantha Markle in court. She is suing her for libel over her Oprah Winfrey interview and part of the Netflix docu-series. So Samantha is suing Meghan for defamation and some other things because she said things like, Meghan said on Netflix that I lived with my mother during the week and my dad on the weekends, and my dad lived alone because, 2 adult children had moved out of the house, and apparently that was incorrect. And then she said, you're telling people you raised me. And well, Samantha's lawyer said that's not true. It was both directly stated and implied that Samantha, everything she said was a lie. And she continues to perpetuate lies around the family and her upbringing. And she said that Samantha's been married 3 times, and that's not true. She hasn't been. She said Samantha changed her name back to Markle right when she was dating Harry. Come to find out, that's not true. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting case. Now, Samantha's attorney is saying that Meghan is more than likely a sociopath. You have to wonder when you have somebody who tells lie after lie and they get caught and they continue to lie, like, I worked my way through college only to have the father come out and show receipts he paid for it. I got a standing ovation at this speech only to have the video come out. There was no standing ovation. It is a little scary to have somebody who lies so easily. It just rolls off her tongue like nobody will ever investigate. Now, Meghan wanted to zoom into this, but apparently the judge said no, and she's ordered to attend the court in Florida in person. This judge is not playing around, and I don't think she's going to give Meghan any leeway because she's Meghan Markle. You know what I'm saying? I think this judge is going to have a fit with her. Moving on. All right, next up, this article came up. It just caught my attention because Meghan apparently is trying to repair her image, but she and Prince Harry's reputation is absolutely in tatters because they burned so many bridges behind them. Nobody that is interested with her unless she brings Prince Harry. She went to WME 6 months ago, and there's still no projects on the horizon, and her reputation is still in tatters. Which just goes to show you that money cannot buy you everything. Moving on. All right, moving on. I've already told you, everybody's told you, that Harry and Meghan are going to be mocked by the Family Guy after they were mocked by South Park. And everybody's like, why? Because they've made themselves laughing stocks. Look what Jimmy Kimmel did with Diana. They've made Diana somewhat of a laughing stock. Unbelievable, I'm telling you. I have to be honest, they are surrounded by yes men all the time. I think they're completely unself-aware of what's going on, and they're never going to get out of the rut. All right, now the stories are out that they're hoping, Harry and Meghan are hoping to avoid couples therapy, and that's why they went on that vacation to, the Caribbean, because they don't want to go to therapy. Now, according to this article, the trip was Harry's idea because he wants to reignite the passion in their relationship. He wanted to take Meghan away for couple time because, they didn't have any couples time in the UK or in Germany or in Portugal or in New York. And of course, that leads us into the fact that their fairy tale relationship narrative is backfiring. And it just goes to show that they try to put out this whole, we're the best couple, we're just fabulous. But the truth is, all couples fight. All couples have issues. And when you constantly put out this narrative that you're in this perfect relationship, people know that it's crap. They know it's crap. And that's why people just don't believe it anymore. And now, Meghan's excuse for not showing up in the UK has just absolutely been torn to shreds. Supposedly, it was because of her 2 children, which, come on. So the fact that you say you don't have time to go to the UK with Harry because you had to deal with the children, but you have no trouble staying on after the games to go to Portugal, and then jetting off to New York on a private jet, which questions their eco-warrior integrity, and then off for a couple's holiday to the Caribbean islands, you're not very self-aware, and obviously the children are not an issue because you can leave them at home any other time. So yeah, she just doesn't want to go back. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys know what I'm looking for. Put those comments down and make them good. Isn't that just the most wonderful thing about Johnny? I'm so happy for him. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And if you've already done it, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund or through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.